Hello everyone, this is Mizar. Welcome to Battle 161 of TPD Season 2, which features, I think, the largest legally spawned-in player-built craft, the Gimli, which is, of course, a Gmodist craft which has been modified for TPD use with various upgrades and improvements. Okay, I was really worried that the main guns were not going to work there. We'll see. They appear to be chillin' for now. I'm sure they'll engage later. Surely. They are joined, or the Gimli here, and although in this case it's called the Khalidbolg, is joined by several ships of a helping task force, which on the map is labeled the WI Support Fleet, Wanfang Industries. And then they are up against some singular coil fleets, the Final Coalition 1 and the Final Coalition Reinforcement Group. So far, we're just in a 3 mil versus 3 mil map fight between Wave 1 from the defending players and the final group from Singular Coil. The reinforcements will be Wave 2. But we've got 2 of these battleships for the Singular Coil, 1 carrier, several of these flying wings. You can tell which ones use fleet colors because they are red and blue. And then they've got a bunch of little planes, which is why the voltages were brought in to deal with them. And they appear to be doing a good job of that with a couple dead right there. And then there's also a giant flying wing somewhere. I am not certain where, but he is here. Trust me. I'm sure it will show up in our time of greatest need. Or at least in Singular Coil's time of greatest need. Maybe. We'll see. I do want to get a look at these guys, because these are, I think, new. I don't think we've seen the blue sky here before. Pretty decent looking, vaguely World War II aesthetic. This reminds me of, like, I want to say gear ships, but I'm not sure why. Gear or Peregrine. But it's definitely not built by the same person who's done the other Singular Coil ships, I think. Or the other Wanfang Industry ships either. Now the other 2 over here feature some glorious laser sea whiz. A bit of ramming there, I think. Hold up. Hold up a minute. Does this... Okay, this thing just has... I wasn't sure if that was a, oops, I partly built a fake hull around this thing. Player issue if it was an intentional design choice. That's funky. And interesting. But okay, given the amount of like detail that went into it with these rivets, it's obviously an intended feature. And this is no quickly built ship either. It's got missiles constructed by Lockheed Martin for about $1 bajillion a piece. Thanks to our sponsor, everyone. For legal reasons, we are not sponsored by Lockheed Martin, though that would be funny. It's always so funny and slightly jarring to see real-world corpos get brought into FTD. But hilarious. And this guy, meanwhile, this is the Etsujin, which feels... Okay, it's definitely missing something that used to be up here. But it looks like just a fairly modern guided missile cruiser or destroyer. Maybe from the JMSDF, given the aesthetic and the name, but really could be any nation. But the singular coil battleship here. Oh, these secondaries are packs. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, just a big pack and railgun, about 1 mil cost battleship. Now the Gimli over there is about double that. Not quite. Hey, there the main guns are working, that's good. But this thing is a monosider, so we'll see how it deals with having something on the left of it. Although this guy has his rear to the Gimli, so probably not that big of a threat. I don't know how much of a crutch the armor is on this side. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, it may really rely on that being a monosider thing. Although that said, I'm not sure the armor is much better on the right side. A little bit. Definitely a remarkably hollow aesthetic for a ship of this size and competitiveness. Some gaps in the armor. I guess when your ship's this big, you do need to have gaps. Just to avoid the cost being insane, because this is a chonker of a ship. And a great use of asymmetry. There's obviously 3 of those secondary guns that are like more or less center line, but not quite. Rest in peace, that barrel. And then a lot of secondaries as well that appear to be in the middle only. And some maybe casemates that are middle only, or right side only. With funnels just here on the port side. And a very elaborate superstructure, which I think is centered. I wasn't sure if it was or not. Is there just like a single random diff up here, or is that a real gun with a base below it? Okay, it's a diff. Sometimes you just need a diff on top, you know, as a finishing touch. Elaborately decorated interior, though it appears at least 1 or 2 of the chandeliers are a little bit missing. Hang on, what is this dinner? These guys are eating 2 sticks, an AI mainframe, a couple surge protectors, and a 2-meter truss. Now that's a balanced diet. Anyway, checking out the map here. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. Both sides are extremely intertwined. The Gimli's vibing at 98. The Dresdens, the big SC ships, are 97 and 87, so one of them's taking a beating. Probably it is this. No, it's actually not that one. It's the other one. I thought for sure it'd be the one that the Gimli was actually broadsiding, but no, it's the one that was to the left of the Gimli for a while. This guy is crippled somehow. Main guns are offline, and so are the secondaries. It seems to just be interceptors firing now. Has this guy received like a surgical AI strike or something? This seems like a box of important things. It's old enough to have ammo selectors. Did someone get in here and hurt the AI? No. I don't know, but this guy, he's toast. Oh, okay, here's an AI. Seems to still have a transmitter. Obviously, something's been lost. Maybe the main AI got taken out and the only AI that's left doesn't control much. That's crazy, though. Knocked out at 85%. not even. And it looks like it is effectively being ignored as the Gimli over here appears to have swapped most of its targeting to the other Dresden. Some of these, I'll call them main secondaries, focused on different stuff. Hey, there's the big flying wing I told you about earlier. The Shadow, which is the classic B2 shape. Not quite as extreme on the outer wings, with, you guessed it, a big missile payload. Though I'm not sure they've been doing too much. Hard to say. It's slowly getting chunked out, though. Is this... Okay. Interesting. It's got diagonal small jets as well as straight line big jets. Who's too damaged over there? Just a little footman. Those are the little drones that there's about a dozen of. Probably a lot less at this point in time because the voltages have been doing their work. Meanwhile, the Eye of the Skies are probably all in varying states of not doing great. This one's lost a lot of skin, but is probably still fully combat operational. That one's at 91, 96, 92. Okay. And the Shadow's now at 88, so it's declining in health pretty prodigiously. 97, 98 for those two. Huh. Oh. Okay, the secondaries do still work on the Dresden, so it must be that the movement and main gun AI got destroyed, but the secondary AI is left intact by the narrowest of margins. By a super surgical strike through the right side down here. And I don't even know what kind of thing did this. I would have guessed a torpedo, but I don't know if anyone has torpedoes in this battle. But someone knew where to shoot. And this Dresden over here, however, is doing a lot better at the same health with all the main guns at least still aiming, even if they've all taken some pretty heavy barrel damage. And they're trying to hurt the Gimli, but it is hard to argue with... Ooh, that's a lot of stats. Where's the armor percentage? Yeah, it's hard to argue with... Oh, only 400,000 materials. I expected... Wait, nope, that's Dresden. Okay, the Gimli. It is hard to argue with 900,000 materials of armor. This guy is going to take a little while to take down. Oh, interesting. So let's look at the underside. It's got azipods. It's got vertical thrusters. Is this a sonobuoy? Or just a thing that's down here for vibes? What even are you? That looks like a sonar. Or is that I don't know what this is, honestly. But then there's also some, looks like Sea Whiz down here, more diffs, probably anti-torpedo diffs. With, yeah, more azipods. Those guys have been chunked out, though. It's missing several of them. Alongside some other holes below the waterline here. Yeah, this thing has probably lost a lot of buoyancy, given that shells have gotten all the way in here to the central turbine room. Though on a ship this big, I'm sure there's multiple turbine rooms. Yeah, if anyone's been saying anything, I have not been hearing you. I'm not sure why. But there isn't too often anything that I need to hear from chat. Follow the cram, please. Nah. Who even has Doom crams? Oh, I bet are the main guns on the Gimli are Doom crams, right? That's tragic. I don't know if these are Doom crams or just regular crams. Based on the damage, probably regular ones. Those didn't seem too powerful. But this Dresden is sinking, and it's the Dresden that still has its guns operational. So once this guy hits 81, it'll be toast, and that will be very bad for the SC coalition here. Premature detonation on that cram. But it is enough to knock this guy down to 80% and bring him shortly out of this battle. Yep, I'm just going to despawn him to save us the amount of lag that his despawning will cost us. Okay, meanwhile this carrier at 91, and the other Dresden, though it hardly matters, is sitting over there at 85. And, one of those Eye of the Skies is going down. We'll see if it stays in that condition long enough to actively despawn, or if it will need to take some more real damage. The carrier, meanwhile, is also immobilized. Why? I do not know. But it is simply not driving. Guns are still operational, but it may have suffered a hit to the AI that does movement or to the power supply. I'm noticing a lot of damage in a room that should not have damage if you want your ship to keep working well. The laser's still online, so it can't just be a loss of power. Maybe the AI just lost the will to move. I'll try to keep my driving through the internals of craft to a minimum because it interrupts the rest of the battle. AI should be fully operational. I'm not sure why you're hanging out. There goes some more footmen. Let's get a sense of the battle from the air. So there's a footman, eye in the sky, carrier, eye, the shadow, Dresden, footman. So only a couple footmen are left. And of the two that are left, at least one is despawning. Of the eyes, several of them are despawning. And of the shadow, it is looking like Swiss cheese. And it is rolling more than you probably should roll if you wish to stay in the air. My guess is that this guy is health below 80% and sinking within about 2 real-life minutes, because that is how long it will take him to hit the water. But yeah, it'll be a bit of a big yikes. Let's see if this cram hits. I spotted this guy coming in earlier. And it might be a Doom cram. Well, if it was, it went off too early. But this guy really just needs enough damage to get below 80% and maybe take him another meter below water, and then we'll be free of another Dresden. And that will pretty decidedly decide this battle for the player coalition. Gimli is still looking pretty good, still at 96%. I would hate to imagine what its health would be if you just sawed this part off here. But I don't think that'll happen in this battle, because it's still doing pretty good. Oh, these, I think, are Doom crams. Why? I was definitely looking closer at that shot. Got that one, though. Pretty good haul. Not insane damage, but pretty good. That was HE, and based on the other things, maybe a bit of frag tossed in. I can't tell if that damage was all from that cram or not. I also don't fully know whether the Gimli's crams are like full Doom crams or just big crams. This was pretty sure a main gun shot. I'm gonna guess just good size crams, because I think Dooms would do more damage than that. Because they can like bite a ship in half if it's not too big. Whereas those are just fairly effective. Oh, called it. Shadow is health below 80 and sinking, and has been for 30 seconds almost. Dresden, meanwhile, is just waiting on opportunity to sink, I think. And another eye in the sky is going down over there. And I believe that's the last footman, and that is one of the small number of remaining eyes in the sky, now completely obliterated. And once the Dresden's down, we just have very little, actually. Pretty much just the carrier and another eye, and I don't think the eye is long for the world. Yep, just this and the carrier left. And he will be health below pretty soon. Although with the main guns disabled and just a few packs on one side functional. Though I don't think the middle two qualify for the term functional. This will be a pretty handy... Oh, crams. Yep, health below 80 and sinking. This will be a pretty handy victory for the Sword of the Ecclesiarch. Once this carrier has no weapons left or dies, we'll call it and move on to the second wave. Eventually. I'm sure that with the 2 million cost and how many firepower from the Gimli? If the game will ever give it to me. If the game will give it to me. If the game will please, FTD, give me the V menu of what I'm looking at, not what I'm nearest to. With, 2.2 million materials and 1,800 firepower, I can't imagine that the carrier will last long. Alongside, of course, all of the other craft here. And pressing as that cram lands. 2 damaged on the carrier. That is it for this wave. Moving on to wave 2. The second wave is now here, consisting of the SC Final Coalition Reinforcement Group. And I suspect they will not do any better than their predecessors. This time they've brought in 2 Fabukis, which were absent last wave, another carrier, and 2 Steel Falcons, which is the first time we're seeing these guys this turn. Though I think they've been present previously, because I do recognize the design. Which is, this is really cool. I like the angled rotors, both on the main things and on the smaller rotors, fore and aft. It's a pretty cool look, and these guys are pricey too. So there's a chance that they do better, because they now have additional missile firepower from the Falcons and the Fabukis. But it'll probably be pretty hard to argue with the high power crams that are incoming from the Gimli, as well as all of the other firepower of everything else here. Yeah, already a good bit chunked out of one Fabuki. The Falcons have these really cool flare patterns. which does not appear to be anywhere near sufficient to protect against likely laser-guided missiles coming off of the particles. Given the previous discussion, I assume that's what they are. Yeah, lasers and RG. Or is it laser-guided ore? I assume laser-guided ore. Yeah, they definitely look like Steel Strider ships, or aircraft. And if they are just a reskinned version, which I don't think they are, then that would be news to me. But I haven't seen most Neatercraft in so long that I could not tell you. All I know is TPD, it's been too long. What's funny is I imagine that once I get back to building an FTD, I will be a lot better, just because I will have absorbed by osmosis all of the stuff that the high meta players who make my computer suffer have been building. I'll be like, okay, if I want my craft to do good, I just give it a bunch of ensign small missiles, remote guided or laser designated. And the enemies will cope. Mazaluk will not crash out as a player in Season 3, guys, because I am simply too good. If I cannot crash out as a GM, there's no chance I will as a player. The only thing that probably could make me really annoyed would be if I try and do something that is legal under the rules as I built them, and then the GM says, yeah, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, I wrote these rules, how dare you? We'll see. That's, I think, the only point of tension I would predict if I become a player. But I don't plan on being, like, uber competitive, so even if that does happen, I wouldn't be too bothered. Hopefully. In the realm of things happening this battle, though, the Fubukis haven't taken any more damage. The Steel Falcons have taken a moderate bit. The carrier is the one bearing the brunt of the attacks, it seems. Alongside, of course, footmen, which are getting shot down left and right by lasers from the breakdown voltages. Oh, yep, yeah. Oh yeah, they're just, every time you see a new one pop up on the screen, it dies. Big yikes. But I guess that's what lasers will do for you. I have not built a laser craft in like 8 years. It's wild. I'm too cannon-pilled. This is why I hate aircraft invasion. But it is cool to see moderate powered lasers get used. Actually, what is the laser firepower in like a breakdown voltage? A voltage has 51 laser firepower. Meanwhile, this carrier has just 22 from its APS mostly. The Calio here, the guy with the the slap-on armor, is at 93%. And appears to be planning to use its slap-on armor to the greatest effect in ramming this carrier. Ooh. Well, it helped. It blunted the blow. I do like seeing realism-inspired laser guns. These are so cool. Including the Lockheed Martin logo. So many neat details on that. Oh, yeah, this guy does have a ton of laser firepower. I don't know why that didn't show up earlier. They are laser main guns, they're not just Sea-Wiz. I imagine it's the same for the Sujin too. Where? How? Okay. Looking at the Sujin, it has a bit of laser firepower, but it's mainly missiles. Okay, the Steel Falcon is... Oh, this one is... Oh, losing health so quickly. It just got AI killed by something large, just obliterated its tail. And the other Falcon over here is underwater, and also just lost its entire tail. Is that where, like, the ammo stored or something? But it's totally dead right now. And the carrier wasn't doing great before it got a little bit too close to the Calio here. And it will soon probably be off of this world. Or at least under it. But it may take the Calio with it, especially if the Gimli decides that damage to the enemy is more important than avoiding damage to a friend. Those crams aren't aiming as aggressively as they could be. They may not be targeting the carrier. I think they're after the Fubukis. Actually, yeah, it's targeting this Fubuki. Let's see those crams. One early det, one miss, one deaded right at the nose, and did almost nothing. That one, though, also another early det. That's the sad thing about timed fuse, is that water slows down your shot so much that unless you give yourself a good bit of extra time on the fuse, to which point a near miss will usually be a total miss, then you end up with a lot of early detonations. I think I usually added like at least 0.1 seconds after when it thinks it should blow up to account for water, and also slowdowns by going through material if it's a pin depth. Because your cram can slow down to like 10% speed if it goes through too much metal or too much material in general. Although, I don't know if this is still accurate, but according to some experiments I did like 5 years ago, crams gain speed when going through glass if they have a very low speed. I doubt it works for glass anymore because glass is stronger, but it might work for wood. If you send like a bomb-shooted cram vertically upward, it has like no velocity, so it'll go very slowly. But if you send it through material, for whatever reason, it increases in speed. Or at least, again, it used to when I ran that test like 4 years ago. I was trying to make like a bomb-shoot cram submarine for some awful reason. And it turned out that doing that would somehow speed up your shots. I don't know. Maybe someone can retest that if they ever want that horrid technology. Yeah, there might be like a minimum speed or something, or I don't know. Oh, this guy is has been shaved down. Oh, a collision is not what you need right now, Fubukis. You're not looking great for health already. Oh, and AI dead on this one at 73. I'm guessing someone got in here to this very vital compartment. Oh, is the Gimli about to get rammed by the blue sky? It'll be close. I think it will. Oh, oh, no, it turned just in time. Ooh. Close, near miss. Oh, I didn't. Okay, this guy does have cram mortars. I saw mortar shots and had no idea where they were coming from. I was not looking at that missile. I was looking at the cram. Give me the cram. Oh, it's missing. Alright, though, it's looking like this is just about over. It is just the Fubuki and the carrier. And we're all out of carrier. So once this guy's out, which will be right about now, then this battle is over. The SC Final Coalitions 2 and now 1 have both been defeated, and the Norse folk have proven that they can beat players and NPCs quite effectively. Alrighty, that is it. Thank you all for watching.